What is up, my Batman fans? I'm Tommy from ZD Comics, and welcome to the top 10 Batman Arkham Knight villains that must
oblivion.
I would like to start out this video by giving a shout out to Batman Arkham Videos. His channel is in the link down below. You'll find there probably the #1 channel leading in Batman Arkham Knight news and walkthroughs. Great person. He is the one that made my channel banner, the one you're looking at on the screen right now. It's also the one I'm currently using. This is by far the best banner I ever had. I mean, he was so generous just to make this for me, and I don't really know how he does it, but he has fantastic skills in Photoshop, and this is what he made for me. As you can see, it looks magnificent. I'm really happy that he did that for me, and I want you all to subscribe to him. I mean, you probably already are. I mean, Batman Arkham Videos is probably the #1 Batman channel on the face of YouTube. I mean, with Batman Arkham Knight news, Batman Arkham Origins, City, and Asylum, he covers literally everything in probably the best format possible, and his walkthroughs are absolutely perfect. And when I mean perfect, I mean not only are they 1080p, but they are literally like, he just doesn't die. It's like, what? So anyway, check out his channel, and thank you for making me that banner. You are the best. One more thing I would like to mention is I would like all of you to click that like button right now. It really only takes a second. It really helps out my channel. But anyway, let's get on to the video. Starting out on number 10 is Firefly. The reason I think we should see Firefly in the game is because he had a really cool role in Batman Arkham Origins. I mean, his boss battle was definitely unique. I wouldn't say it was the best, but it's something new. I mean, grappling onto his leg and having a scene that was all in a building and a bridge was really fascinating. So I hope we can get something like that in Batman Arkham Knight. And with the whole Batmobile and a lot of the outside environment, I feel like Firefly would work really well. I mean, imagine being in the Batmobile and fighting against Firefly. Now, I'm not saying he should be a part of the main storyline like he was in Origins, but it would be pretty cool to see him, probably as a side mission, or maybe see someone else go up against him, like Red Hood, Robin, Batgirl, Nightwing, or really any other hero who's going to be in the game. Number 9 is Clayface, and just like Firefly, we only really fought Clayface once, and he's really only been in one of the 3 games. And Clayface was the final boss battle in Arkham City, which of course was the best game without a doubt in the Arkham series. And I gotta say, the Clayface boss battle was probably one of my top 5 favorite boss battles in all the Arkham games. I mean, it was really fun. It was pretty difficult. I mean, the most difficult would probably be the Mr. Freeze or Solomon Grundy, in my perspective. But I gotta say, I mean, I really would not mind fighting Clayface again. And I just want to see another unique battle, because Clayface can literally turn into anything or into anybody like we've seen him do in Arkham City. So his side mission, or really anything we do, could be pretty awesome. And I'm thinking like one possible storyline for a side mission could be him faking as Hush, and maybe he's faking as Bruce Wayne, and I don't know, for instance, Batman's like, oh my god, Hush is acting as if he was me, but really it's Clayface. So I can see like a Hush Clayface mix around right there. That would be pretty interesting. So anyway, I would really like to see Clayface another boss battle. Could be a side mission, but honestly, I would like to see Clayface in the actual story mode for Batman Arkham Knight. He's one of those select few that I think have an opportunity, and I think should be in the main storyline for Batman Arkham Knight. But I want to hear your thoughts in the comment section down below. Where do you think Clayface falls in Batman Arkham Knight, and what do you think his purpose will be in the game if he is in it? Number 8 is Anarchy, and yes, you could say that he's already confirmed, because we did see 2 Anarchy symbols in the gameplay demo, but it's not really technically confirmed. It's only very strongly hinted, because why would they show us these obvious Anarchy symbols if he weren't going to be in the game? So anyway, the reason I want to see Anarchy is because, one, he played as the Riddler in Arkham Origins, so I would really like to see that dynamic between the Riddler and Anarchy if they were both in the game, the game together. So actually what I would like to see is an Anarchy Riddler team up. Honest to God, I think that would be really cool, because you gotta admit, Anarchy isn't technically like the Riddler, but he kind of acted as the Riddler in Batman Arkham Origins. Even though we did have the Riddler, it's just you had to find Anarchy tags, and you kind of got that vibe. Now, personally, I got that vibe, and I'm pretty sure you did too. So if you did, wouldn't it be pretty cool to see like an Anarchy Riddler team up? Honestly, I think it would be. Coming in at number 7 is Solomon Grundy. Solomon Grundy is also another villain that we only fought once, and that was in Batman Arkham City. He was kind of like Penguin's pet, to be honest. I mean, the way we fought him was by far one of the most sightseeing, like, boss battles ever. I mean, there's been a lot of boss battles that just looked good, but I thought the Sama Grundy one looked fantastic, and the way he got shocked and he ended up using those wrecking balls as a weapon, I was like, damn, this is literally freaking amazing. Of course, that's next to the Ra's al Ghul boss battle that was also really visually amazing, but I gotta say, Sama Grundy was a difficult boss battle for me. I think it's one of the few I actually lost a few times, that and of course the Ra's al Ghul boss battle, but the Sama Grundy boss battle was just awesome. I mean, you were in a close area, nothing really changed, the environment never changed, it's just Sama Grundy got from like pretty cool to like freaking insanely badass by the end. Like, he just kept on getting better as like, I don't want to, for a lack of a better word, like rounds, you know? So like, you know, you had round 1 and you had round 2, he kind of got shocked, turned a little bit blue, and by round 3 he was just like, I'm freaking awesome. So I would really like to see that again. I don't really care if he's Penguin's little pet. I really don't. I just would like to see him in the game. Now, he doesn't have to be one of the main villains in the story, but of course, make him a side mission. You know, it would be pretty cool to see one of the Batman's sidekick fight a character so big, because I mean, when do you really get to see Robin fight a character, for instance, like Bane or Killer Croc? You don't usually see him fighting lower grade villains, so maybe we can get a Robin side mission with Sama Grundy as a villain. Number 6 on my list is Lady Shiva. Now, Lady Shiva honestly has not had a big role in the Arkhamverse up until Arkham Origins, but she didn't even have a big role in that game either. She actually, personally, I thought she was going to be a part of the main storyline, but she wasn't. She was a part of the 8 Assassins, but eventually just got kicked off to a side mission, which kind of sucked, to be honest. I didn't really enjoy it. Her boss battle was pretty interesting, but besides that, pretty disappointing. So the reason I want to see Lady Shiva in this game really has nothing to do with Batman. I think this would be an awesome storyline for Tim Drake. So maybe if Tim Drake gets side missions, which I personally think that every playable character will be getting their own side mission, I think Tim Drake would have a great role to play against Lady Shiva. Now, it could either be Tim Drake or Dick Grayson. Either Robin is fine by me. Of course, if we choose Dick Grayson, it would be Nightwing going up against her. But it really, anyway, Robin in the comics has a close tie-in with Lady Shiva. Tim Drake does, but mostly Dick Grayson. So a Nightwing versus Lady Shiva boss battle would be not only a satisfaction to the comic book world, but would be like pretty badass. And they're both really acrobatic characters. Now, Batman's a little bit more tough and bold, and his punches are harder, but when you play as Nightwing, he kind of bounces around a lot, and so does Lady Shiva, so that dynamic would be pretty cool. My number 5 pick is Deathstroke, and I know all of you are going to want to see him in this game, and I am in that bandwagon too. I mean, come on, it's Deathstroke. He had literally no reason to be in the Arkhamverse all the way up to Arkham Origins, where they made him an assassin, which made so much sense because he's by far one of the best assassins in the DC universe. So having him as one of the 8 assassins of Arkham Origins did make sense, and by the time Batman Arkham Knight, in like, you know, the time period, Deathstroke would be pretty damn old because he looked so old in Arkham Origins, but of course the continuity is kind of messed up there anyway. Now, I do want to see a lot of these Batman Arkham Origins characters come to Batman Arkham Knight. For instance, I already did mention Lady Shiva and Firefly, and I think Deathstroke would be a great appearance too. I don't think he should be a part of the main storyline at all because he just wouldn't fit in. I feel like it would be kind of just like, like why would they be doing this? I don't think they would do that because the Arkhamverse never had Deathstroke before Batman Arkham Origins, and Batman Arkham Origins was planned after Batman Arkham Knight. So when you think when they're going to make Batman Arkham Knight, they're probably only going to choose villains that they originally had planned. So obviously Deathstroke probably isn't one of them. Could be though, probably not. I think he would fit in well as a side mission, and I would like to see him go up against Batman, not any really of the other characters. Red Hood, Deathstroke would be actually pretty amazing because Red Hood kills, Deathstroke kills. They're both sort of assassins and they both love their guns. So a Red Hood Deathstroke boss battle would be sick, but I would more likely like to see a Batman Deathstroke boss battle as a side mission. My number 4 pick is Calendar Man, and before you click that dislike button, please let me explain. Calendar Man literally got teased so much in Batman Arkham Origins, they just completely boo-balled us there. I mean, it was like, we got to see that huge Easter egg in like the first part of Batman Arkham Origins where we visited Blackgate, and then literally nothing for him. Like, I thought he was going to have a part in Batman Arkham Origins. It was disappointing. And in Batman Arkham City, he was so cool. He was just an interesting character, and I think he should have his own side mission with Batman in Batman Arkham Knight, and should have a freaking something really cool storyline. Like, there's a storyline, I think it was in Detective Comics, the Futures End Detective Comics, where I think it was Calendar Man was like doing something to Arkham City, like literally, like I think it was the Arkham Asylum and the Riddler. I think also Batman stepped in, and like Batman and the Riddler had to stop like Calendar Man. It was like really cool. Like, the Calendar Man was basically trying to recreate what the Riddler did with the blackout of Gotham City. Now, this is all comic book storyline. I'm probably confusing you here, but I'm just trying to say Calendar Man can have a pretty sick story if you put your heart and soul into it. So I think a Calendar Man side mission could be absolutely amazing, and I think instead of it being like a interesting, storyline, for instance, like how some things are just kind of visually cool, like I mentioned before, I think a Calendar Man one could be a really, like, deep side mission, one where you really have to think and really have to use your detective work, and it's kind of like a mind-blowing experience. So Calendar Man definitely will fit into Batman Arkham Knight. I'm pretty sure they're going to add him. It's just, will you actually get to fight him? Like, I want to punch Calendar Man in the face. That's all I want to do. My number 3 choice is Mr. Freeze. Now, we already seen Mr. Freeze in actually 2 of the 3 games so far. He was in Batman Arkham City, had probably one of the best boss battles in all of games, and then of course we saw him in Arkham Origins in the expanded story pack. Now, I would say Arkham Origins, like, whoa, we already have 2 boss battles of him. I don't count that because that was an expanded story pack, and that was Arkham Origins. But seriously, his Batman Arkham City storyline was sick. I mean, he had a pretty large part in the Batman Arkham City story, so I'm not trying to say he should have a large part in this game, but he should definitely be involved in it some way or other. I really wouldn't mind him being a side mission, but I just want to see Batman go up against Mr. Freeze again. What they could do is, pull a Bane, where we saw Bane in Batman Arkham City, but we didn't actually fight him. He just had his own side mission that evolved around him, and I wouldn't mind seeing one of those for Mr. Freeze. Number 2 is Ra's al Ghul. Now, if you're a fan of my channel, you might know that I actually didn't even want Ra's al Ghul in this game at first, but I was thinking about it recently. I'm thinking, Ra's al Ghul would actually be really freaking cool in this game. Now, Ra's al Ghul's storyline was really big in Arkham City. It was actually kind of the main reason that whole Protocol 11 thing happened. Like, he was the one behind Hugo Strange, so you could say Ra's al Ghul was the main villain in Batman Arkham City, and I wouldn't deny that. That's pretty true. Now, the reason I want to see Ra's al Ghul again is just because it's Ra's al Ghul. I mean, come on, you gotta be honest with me. He's a freaking cool character, and he did die in Batman Arkham City, but of course, we do know that it's Ra's al Ghul. He dies all the freaking time, so just bring him back. And I also wouldn't mind seeing Talia al Ghul as well, and the League of Assassins. Plus, I want to see another one of those really visually awesome boss battles where you're kind of like tripping your ballsack off, just like in the Mad Hatter boss battle. So honestly, Ra's al Ghul, Talia al Ghul, League of Assassins, bring him at me, dude. I want to see him in Batman Arkham Knight. Before I tell you my number 1 villain I want to see in Batman Arkham Knight, I want to hear yours in the comment section down below. So pause this video right now and comment who that number 1 villain you want to see, and it can't be the ones I already mentioned. Actually, you know what? I scratch that. It can be the ones I already mentioned, but try to choose one that I did not mention already, because I want to see if you'll choose the same one I do. So my number 1 villain I want to see in Batman Arkham Knight is the Hush. And Hush is such a freaking cool character. He has such close connections with Bruce Wayne when he was a little kid. So I think that if you really put that dynamic into it and really put your heart into it, the Hush could really work out in this game. I mean, he could be the Arkham Knight if you think about it. It's a possibility. Now, people were saying, but in Batman Arkham City, Batman said he would take care of the Hush. Well, it doesn't mean he actually did it. Maybe the Hush ran away and did something. But I would just like to see the Hush in Batman Arkham Knight. Like, that's, out of any villain that I think has to get his due, it would be the Hush. I mean, he literally left us off with a really good cliffhanger in Batman Arkham City, and that must be fulfilled. Just like the Azrael prophecy will probably be fulfilled, the Hush prophecy must be fulfilled. We must see where the Hush's next step is, and I think we're going to see it in the Batman Arkham Knight game. So that's going to wrap up today's Batman Arkham Knight video. If you want to see more Batman Arkham Knight videos, just subscribe to my channel. I'll be doing a walkthrough, a countdown to Batman Arkham Knight, and tons of other great videos. I also do everything involving DC Comics, movies, TV, entertainment, and pretty much everything gaming related. So don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. I'm Tommy from Z&D Comics, and I want you to have a great day.
Ready, aim, fire.